Good afternoon, my darling, and welcome to a new vlog. Today I am going to Banbury. This is a journey that I tend to take every month or so because I go to an osteopath there at a special clinic just for maintenance and well-being and so on. But when I go there, I tend to also see a friend, and my friend, she's very dear and close to my heart, and she's a fantastic masseuse, and for years I did not go to her. And then I just earlier this year decided, you know what? You're an expert and I'd love to get more into health and well-being, so would you mind? And so from I think the start of the year I've been going to her. I've been seeing her probably like once a month as well, because she lives in Banbury, so it's like two birds in one stone. So today I'll be going to see her for a massage and then going to my osteopath appointment. However, Banbury is about an hour away and I have to get going. I also need to drop off a parcel at the post office. I'd like to grab her some flowers because I haven't seen her in about 2 months. We've taken sort of a hiatus because we just couldn't get our schedules together. But yeah, I haven't seen her in a little bit, so I wanted to grab her some flowers, and I also need to grab some food from somewhere. I'm thinking of McDonald's on the way because times are desperate. I actually only go to McDonald's probably about once a year, honestly, because I just don't do fast food. I try to keep very healthy like that, and so yeah, but I have no time to eat. I have to be at hers in probably about an hour and 5 minutes, and it takes me about 50 minutes to drive there, so I'm just rushing and I am all over the place. I haven't even put on any accessories. I don't know what I'm doing with myself, so let me do that and then I'll show you what I've got on. I've got some stud earrings. These are grey pearls. I've got my Gemondo ring on my right hand. On the left I have this simple band from Objects. I'm wearing my Seconda watch on my left wrist. The top is from ASOS. It's a nice little scoop neck, and I've got a black pair of jeans on. For bags, I am taking my Tabby 26, and I'll be wearing this leather jacket with this very fluffy warm collar on top, and that is me ready to go. Let's skedoodle because I am going to be late. The parcel's been posted, thank goodness. I had the ladies, which are very nice at the post office, they noticed that I was carrying a camera and they were like, oh, what are you up to? And I was like, well, I video myself and then I put it on the internet, not in a creepy pornographic way, but just in like a fun YouTube way. And they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I was like, yeah, that's, I don't know. Trying to explain it to like the older generations, it just sounds really like weird and abstract, but yeah. You know, it is what it is. I've done it. I've bought some flowers. These are lovely. I hope she's going to love them. And I also grabbed some sandwiches because I just am not going to get a chance to eat, and I can't eat them while I'm driving, so I think I'll just eat them there, I guess. I don't know, while she's massaging me. I have no idea. But yeah, I'll be 20 minutes late and that'll be that. And yeah, I'm going to get going because I'll probably be later if I keep talking to the camera. I've just arrived, but I need to take the sticker off of these that shows the price. These flowers, I mean, and my goodness, it was such an awful trip. I mean, not just because it was raining some of the time, but because most of the roads had roadworks and there was a lot of traffic. There was some clear patches, but not enough, so I am 20 minutes late, unfortunately, but it is what it is, and at least we're here safe and well. So now that I've taken the price off, I'm going to go in for my massage and try to like relax and take a breath, because I think I've been holding my breath the entire time trying to make it here. I'm so out of breath because I ran here. I've been massaged very thoroughly and now I'm in the centre of Banbury heading to my osteopath appointment. I think I'm like 5 minutes late, but it's fine. And I am so out of breath. My goodness. I'll talk to you later. I finished the appointment. I'm in the delightful powder room that they have here. It's completely pink and it's gorgeous. You can see it reflecting from the other side. There's like pink light that's glazing my face and it's lovely here. I just love the pinkness. It's the most feminine sort of boudoir sort of vibe. Love it. I've actually put on this jumper. I forgot to mention that I travelled with this on because it is so chilly outside that this coat and my top is not thick enough for this weather. It is quite miserable. Now I am going to head back to the car and make my way back home because I also need to go and pick up something from a friend's house. So that's one extra thing to do. I need to call them to see if I can come by and get it. This whatever thing, I'll let you know what it is. But I'll keep the mystery for now. And pardon the squeaking. I don't know if you can hear this, but as I move, this leather sort of tugs on itself and it moves about. I don't know, I've put an hour for parking. I think I have another like 30 minutes, something like that, because that's the length of my appointment. So I don't know if I have time to pick up anything from the shop, because there is one close by that I like to pop into just for some groceries, but I need to just get my head straight and see how much time I have left for parking because I don't want to overstay. Can you hear the bells ring? How beautiful is that? I love listening to church bells ring. It's one of my favourite sounds. I thought I'd pop by the shop in the end because I thought they might have figs, and indeed they do. I love figs, and so I picked 4 boxes up. 4 obviously, and also one of those coffees that they do, like the takeaway ones, because I don't know, I just really like the taste of it, and I thought, why not? I'll treat myself to some. Oh, and I was just looking, I thought they didn't have any, but I also really love this naked Japanese style like katsu curry long grain rice. I love doing this with like a side of meat or something. It's got a very specific taste and I really like it. I've only got 2, but that's okay. 2 will do me just fine. And now we can set off. Here is the loot and we can check out now. It's coming up to 6 p.m. and it's already so dark outside. It looks quite light on camera, but there are so many clouds and there's this very soft sort of pinkish purple light, and I noticed it on a different day. I was also out shopping and the sky was just purple, like lavender, and all of the light for about, I don't know, 3 minutes was just this intense sort of bluish powdery colour. It's really lovely. It's not quite the same today, but I don't know, there's something in the atmosphere lately that's making the sky go a very interesting colour. I've spent the past 15 minutes searching frantically for this sucker because I just couldn't find my phone. I thought I'd lost it for a second, and you know how panicky you get when you think you've lost your phone? You're like, oh my goodness, where could it be? And I thought I left it at my friend's house, and I didn't. It was just in the car, but it was under the driving seat, or the driver's seat, because it had slipped from when I was going to put it but on the door, like in the door pocket, and then it just like swooped under the seat somehow, and anyway, found it, so like panic over. But my goodness, this was such a whirlwind of a day. I just feel like it's completely rushed by, but I'm so glad I got everything done. I'm really impressed with myself. I was running late for the majority of it, truth be told, but you know what, it all's well that ends well. And who said that if everything's going to plan, then you're not doing anything fast enough or something like that? Like, where if you're not frantic, you're not doing enough. Anyway, I've done plenty today. I went to the post office, I went to my massage, which was wonderful and brilliant, and I really missed it. I love doing it every month, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I went to my osteo appointment. That was really good as well. It's just more of a like health and maintenance sort of thing. This feels like a very health focused day. I got some shopping done, and I went to my friend's house because they were printing off a script. here it is. This is a schedule for rehearsals because I'm taking part in this Christmas's play that Masque Theatre, which is a local theatre group, are putting on. And the play is called A Christmas Spirit, and I got the PDF sent to me. Here we go, this is Act 1, Scene 1. And I printed it off because my script was not arriving. And it arrived today actually. I think it took almost 2 weeks for it to arrive. And it's this beautiful like green colour. How gorgeous is that? And it's this very soft texture, you know, that like rubbery feeling. So I really like it. And this is the inside. So how I kind of got involved in this is my like surprise announcement for today, is back in 2021 in December I did a play called The Hunting of the Snark. It was the first play I had ever done with Masque Theatre. I had heard about them. They do Shakespeare in the Park every single year and it's brilliant and I always go and watch it. They did A Midsummer Night's Dream this summer, they did Richard III last summer, they did lots and lots of plays. They do a lot of Shakespeare obviously in the park, and so yeah, love it. And in December of 2021 I sort of went to auditions and I buckled up and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go and see if I can get a role. Who knows. I've done a lot of theatre. I think I started when I was like 5 or 6 and I've done amateur theatre ever since. And so I was like, well, I'll just go along, see what happens. And I got to the female lead and I was so delighted. It was based on a poem going by the same name. It was written by Lewis, who wrote Alice in Wonderland. And it was based on one of his poems called The Hunting of the Snark. The director actually wrote the play and it involved a lot of singing and sea chanties and poetry. And it was really a beautiful experience, just also watching it but being a part of it, because there were so many elements going on, and it was such a unstereotypical Christmas play. And she incorporated the character of Alice from Alice in Wonderland, which I played, and I really loved it. And it was broken up into these chapters, so Alice sort of got dedicated the first chapter. That's where it was really heavy. The role was very took centre stage, and then the second chapter was sort of dedicated to the captain of the ship, and the third was dedicated to, I can't remember the name of the character, and it sort of had these developing chapters, and as the story went on we got closer to hunting this mythical creature. Anyway, and I met the director of this play called A Christmas Spirit then. He came and watched the play, and ever since we'd become friends, and he kept telling me, you know, I'm directing this, will you come to auditions and will you like read for this part and whatever, and then I never did. So I haven't been in anything since then, and he texted me about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and he was like, I'm directing this, I want you to play this character called Beth. Will you do it? And I was like, okay, yes. He didn't ask me to audition, he didn't ask me to read, which is a huge gamble. I always think it's really good to audition your actors in case they can't play the part right or how you envisioned it, but he's got enough faith and he just offered me the role, and I found it a huge compliment, and I was like, yeah, sure. It kind of scared me because we've only got about a month and a half to put this thing together, but if he's got faith that he's going to do it, you know what, you've got to trust your director. So he sent me the script last night, and I read through it up until 1 in the morning. Even though I had to work today, I was like, I want to finish this. I ordered it because I wanted to have it, and then he in the end sent me the PDF, and just as I have it printed now, then, you know, it arrives as it does. I was actually thinking, I bet it will arrive in the post tomorrow after I've received this PDF and gone to the trouble of printing it, because I don't have a printer, so I had to ask a friend, and so they kindly printed it. But I'm glad I have it in printed form, just because the writing is a lot bigger here on the page and there's more space between the lines, which is really great because during rehearsals I'll probably need to annotate in the margins, and this book is quite little and there isn't that much space, so I'm going to use the script, and this is not going to go to waste. It will be lovely to have to reread because I love the play. If you want to come, I will put a link to the tickets. It's going to be from the 5th to the 9th of December, so 5 days from 7:30 to probably about 9, and the play is basically sort of a dark comedy. It's based on the idea that death basically comes and visits this woman called Julia, who's 72 years old, and death wants to take her away, and in order to sort of negotiate with death, she invites death for Christmas. She says, well, why don't you come to Christmas dinner with me and my family, and I'll try to convince you basically to let me continue living because I have a lot to live for. And so death agrees, and basically it's a story of what happens when death actually comes for Christmas dinner. And I had high expectations of this. I thought, you know what, the concept is really good, but the writing is spectacular and phenomenal, and I love it. I read it last night in one sitting, and I laughed and I cried. I laughed several times out loud, and I cried several times out loud, and it was such a beautiful story. It touches on very significant and very relevant topics. I don't know when this was written. I think maybe early 2000s, I'm going to say. However, it talks about depression, it talks about suicide, it talks about family and eating disorders and mental health and joy and life and loss and sorrow, and it touches so beautifully on all of these, where it doesn't sort of press the wrong buttons and makes it really exhausting. It comes from a place of hope. That's where I feel the story is going, and it's so touching and beautiful. And basically I play Julia's daughter. So her name is Beth, and she lives with her mum, I think, or something. She's got a brother as well. He comes to dinner with his girlfriend, and the local priest comes as well. And you know, it's just a mixture of odd characters, individually odd, and then them having Christmas dinner and then seeing the mess that happens. And they're quite a dysfunctional family. I think they're quite relatable in that aspect, where they love each other but they can't stand each other either. I can't say I relate in my family necessarily to that, but I think it's a really real family dynamic where I try to love you, I try to support you, but you're pushing all my buttons and you're being annoying, and that's a running theme in this. But death is done in a way that feels very human, and it's got nuance, and it's not death being death and being morbid, it's death actually having that human aspect, and death is very conscious of the fact that it is death, but he also understands, because I say he because it's a male character, and he is very just aware that even though he is death, he's still got some humanity to him. And there's also an irony from looking at yourself, understanding what you are, appreciating it, and then adding humour to all of it. And it's done really, really well. I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do, and now I'm really excited to get my teeth into it. I want to run through some of the lines. I want to go through the play again now that I've read it, so that I can start plotting the journey that my character takes on this. And so there's a lot to do. In 2 days time, tomorrow Saturday, but on Sunday it will be my first rehearsal, and I'd like to bring you with me in case this vlog isn't long enough, but I thought I'd kind of give you a taste instead of just saying, you know, hey, I'm doing this. I would love to bring you along, so that's going to happen. And yeah, if you're watching this and you're in the Northamptonshire area, feel free to come along. It's going to be a fabulous time, and all of the proceeds from the ticket go towards the Masque Theatre company and keeping them running. They are an independent group. They rely on their patrons and the audience to raise funds so that they can keep producing this theatre. They've been running for about 100 or 120 years. They had an anniversary last year. I can't remember how old they are right now, but they're quite old. They've had some ish famous faces grace their stage. No Hollywood A-listers obviously, but some actors that went on to do really great things in the UK. And so, you know, it's always an honour to be a part of their productions, and Alistair Way, who is the director, I'm sure is going to do a fabulous job. I mean, he chose this play and it's wonderful, so I've already got faith in him. So yeah, that's it for now. But yeah, that's my big announcement. A Christmas Spirit is coming. And yeah, maybe you can come along if you fancy doing something on the 5th or the 9th or sometime between then in December. Anyway, I'm going to go wash my hair now because I need to do that. Every time I get a massage, I make sure that I don't come with clean hair, because my friend and masseuse, she uses oil to obviously massage, and it always gets into my hair no matter how high I put it up. It always gets like that, so I feel quite like in need of a shower. But yeah, I'm so glad I'm home. Honestly, the road was awful. Not just because it was raining, but because the drivers were driving so fast in the rain, and it was dark and I couldn't see, and there were so many country lanes. So once I got home, I was like, oh, thank God I'm here. I finally feel like safe and happy. And there was also a cyclist on a really busy highway, and I was like, honestly, dude, what are you doing? Anyway, cyclists, please stay safe, because it makes drivers like me very anxious to see you in the rain and the dark and on a busy highway. So whatever you're doing, please be safe and responsible. But yeah, that's everything for me, and I will see you in a few seconds for you, but in a few days for me, when we get to go to rehearsals together. How fun is that? I don't think I'll be filming much, just because the actors sometimes don't want to really share a lot, but I'll try and film as much as possible and keep you up to date with progress. Good morning, my darling cherubs. I am going to my first rehearsal and I'm so excited, and I'm trying not to run late, and I promised myself that I was going to have a relaxing vlog today, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm so excited for the rehearsal, and also a little bit nervous, and also really happy that I'm wearing this jacket that I have on. So a lot of emotions are coursing through me right now. But yeah, let's take a breath, let's calm ourselves. I don't have a mirror to show you this right now because, you know, we're in a rush, but I'm wearing a turtleneck. I think this is from the United Colours Benetton. I'll have a look at the label and leave everything linked. This is a vintage jacket. It's got this very fluffy little trim that goes all along, and this is suede, so it's extra nice. I got it from a vintage Mexican market while I was in Las Vegas like many years ago, and I just cherish it because it's so full of memories. And then I'm wearing my black Villa jeans, and for handbag I am sporting this little number. This is the Coach Tabby 26 in the colour ivory. And so yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. I've got my script, I printed it as I showed you, and I did a front cover for it. It's got my name and, you know, my character's name as well. I had to clip it with bulldog clips because it's 30 pages, it's 64 or 63 sides. And I did a lot of work on it. I went through, highlighted my parts, and made notes on it as well. And I also made some character notes. Let me just show you that I popped at the back as well here. And I'm feeling pretty ready. I even did a timeline of events and my character and how they feel throughout all of the scenes. So I'm feeling good, I'm feeling ready. We're working through the third quarter of the play today. And so, yeah, but I'm going a little bit early just to catch up on what they did in the 2 other previous rehearsals that I couldn't attend. So yeah, I'm going to not bring my camera because I don't want people to be like, what are you doing? So I'll film with my phone if there's anything. But I'm so excited to go and meet everyone. I think I know a few people from watching their previous work, and also from acting with them 2 Christmases ago. So yeah, the lady that's playing my mum in the play, my character's mum actually, her name's Tony, and she's so super talented, and I worked with her 2 Decembers ago, and now I'm so excited to work with her again because I watched one of her plays during like this gap that I took from acting, and yeah, she was so fabulous in Absent Friends. That was the play. She was exquisite, and I actually thought, oh, I hope I get to act with her again. So here it is, it's happening. Anyway, let's get going because I don't want to make the direct wait, and yeah, I'll let you know how it goes, but exciting stuff. It's been a little while since we last spoke. first rehearsal was very good. I'm very happy with it. I got to meet the majority of the cast apart from 2 of its members who could not make it today unfortunately, but maybe one of them will be coming to tomorrow's rehearsal, which is rehearsal number 2 for me. It's number 4 for everybody else, and then one of the leads, the male lead, Death, will be at rehearsals on Sunday, so next week. And everyone's lovely. I went in early. I went about an hour and a half before rehearsal started because everyone was coming at 2:30, but I'd arranged to meet with the director at 1 so that we could run through what they'd rehearsed and walked through basically in the first 2 rehearsals, because they'd sort of blocked everything. They ran through lines a few times, but they hadn't like really got into the meat of things, so that was fine. Today we rehearsed pages 43 to 60, that was in the schedule. However, they had done pages 5 to 42 beforehand, so we just did those together. One of the other actresses who also missed the first rehearsals, her name is Mel, and she plays Melissa. We got to meet for the first time today as well, and it was her first day also, so it was nice that I wasn't the only one who was coming in slightly later. But I think everyone worked really well together. I think the cast dynamic is really, really great. We had so many funny moments when we were laughing as actors. We're like, oh my god, that's so good. And it's always good when you can laugh at what's happening on stage. If you're watching, or even if you're like watching on stage, or acting on stage and then seeing what's happening, you're like, oh god, that's hilarious. There were so many moments where we stopped just to laugh and just take a breath so we could carry on. So it's nice to have those quirky moments and those little things, and I think if we're laughing, or if we're enjoying it, or if we're like, wow, that's amazing, or that was the best way to react to that, or whatever, then I'm sure that the audience will also really enjoy it. As I said, there isn't that much time left because it's just a short period to do this rehearsing. I think it's about a month and a half away. So yeah, there is pressure, but it's good. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad I got to join them. I was talking to one of the other actresses, and I was like, I'm just so glad that I could be a part of this. This is so, so great. And I love everyone who is in this production. I think they're all really fab. So excited to meet the rest, and now I want to go through some of the notes that I made during rehearsals. I wasn't really able to film much, if anything, but you know, just seeing it happen without the context, without the proper set and without the costumes and so on, you can't really like gauge it properly. But I'm going to go through the notes that I made today just to make sure that I'm very clear on everything. And of course, even if you block, and even if you kind of decide that, you know, I need to go this way or that way, there's always the spontaneity of the moment. You don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how someone else is going to play their part, and some things are best left to the moment so that you can react authentically, obviously. And so yeah, it's all fun and games and really good. Thank you for coming along with me. I will maybe do more of these insightful vlogs into the rehearsal process, maybe not, I'm not quite sure, but I hope you enjoyed this. Please come along to the Christmas Spirit if you're in the Northamptonshire area. I'm sure it's going to be good fun. I'll leave a link to where you can buy tickets. They're not on sale yet, but they will be soon enough. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good evening. Bye bye.